Hey everyone, today I've got The Nun movie review. Possibly the best part of The Conjuring 2 gets their own movie. Should I pray for forgiveness for seeing this movie? So as far as the story goes, Corinne Hardy directs this Conjuring spin-off about the demon nun who haunts this convent in Romania. And after a nun dies, there's an investigation of what really happened there. And so sometimes the story was hard to follow, and it felt like it was going all over the place, even in a singular location. And actually, I really did love the location. I thought the production design was all very realistic and on point, and really felt like how a horror movie should feel. And it does have a cool way of showing how this movie connects with the larger Conjuring universe with like slight little details. I just was really curious to know what direction this movie was going into, because this was definitely one of my most anticipated movies, and I'm a horror movie fan, so I was definitely expecting a lot going into seeing this movie. Now, as far as the casting goes, you've got Taissa Farmiga, who is actually the younger sister to Vera Farmiga, who has been in the Conjuring film, so it's really cool to see her here, even though she actually does have some experience in the horror genre for being in a little series called American Horror Story, if you guys ever seen it. She's trying to be a nun, and she's Sister Irene, so she comes along this journey with Damien Bashir, who is this father, who's this priest. I thought they did a pretty good job in this movie, you know, with what they've had to deal with, because there are these horror elements that just are thrown at you, and it's just very sporadic. But obviously, Bonnie Aarons as Valak the nun, you know, she was definitely terrifying at times, even though I wished I saw more of the character. I mean, you don't call this movie The Nun and not show the character as much, except mostly talking about the history of this location. Even the guy who played Frenchie, you know, I thought he was really cool too, but I felt like at times he was there for, you know, slight comedic relief. So I don't know if that was on purpose or just to make this movie like a tad bit lighter, because this movie, I was expecting it to definitely be really dark, because that's how they pretty much hyped this movie to be. So the things that I liked about this movie was that some of the jump scares were predictable at times, even though some of them I was not expecting. And so I was kind of on the edge of my seat, and let alone in a D-box seat, if you know what those are. And I definitely didn't see certain moments of the film coming, and it was dark. It did have a Silent Hill-esque scene that I just found to be really cool, and it was terrifying, and I definitely felt my heart race. And even seeing a Valak written on a license plate, so it was kind of an Easter egg as well, because you saw that pretty much throughout the other Conjuring films. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that not seeing the nun enough on screen was something that I felt to be kind of disappointed about. But even when I did, I was worried about how they were going to use all these special effects, and thinking, okay, the way that they're presenting the nun, it doesn't look as, you know, authentic, and using practical effects versus visual effects, and so it kind of looked cheesy in a way, so it kind of took me out of being scared. And there were other horror elements that felt out of place, even though it was used to explain the backstory, and that also like kind of came off as weird as well. It definitely wasn't as scary as I expected it to be, but I definitely enjoyed myself watching it. So overall, I would say this movie, I still, it might not be my favorite, and I might not rank it, you know, exactly as high as some of the other films in the Conjuring universe, but I do think it was still a pretty good time to see it. Just fun time at the theater to see a horror film so close to Halloween coming out next month, so yeah, I really hope to see more of this nun character in the future nonetheless. So I would recommend seeing this movie, whether or not you're a fan of the Conjuring films. I still think this is a pretty, at least, decent film, average film. So I would give this 3 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Nun. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.
Oh.